When you're drowning at work, it can feel like there's absolutely no out. Everything you do feels like it's getting worse, and it feels like every time you finish one thing, another thing starts. But let me show you what to do when you feel like there's nothing else you can do when you're drowning in the workplace. All right, here we go. Hey, look, y'all, before we get started, you can do me a huge favor. If you can hit that subscribe button right at the top, like, comment, share. That's the ultimate way to help this channel grow. Look, I know you can't stick along all day, so here's the too long I got kids version of what to do when you feel like you're drowning at work. Number 1, step away. I know this feels counterintuitive, but stick with me. We'll walk through this one together. Number 2, you gotta prioritize. Everything's not equally important. Let me help you walk through how to uncover what is. Number 3, delegate and partner. You need help. Simple as that. We'll deep dive in that a little bit later. And it's a special bonus number 4 for this video. Have a best friend at work. We'll talk about the benefits of that too. All right, let's deep dive into number 1. Step away. Look, I know you want to quit this video before we even get started, but I promise you, if you stick with me, I'll make this make sense. When you're overwhelmed, everything's out of whack. Your brain's not working quite right. Your heart rate's up. Your stress level's up. Everything feels like it's closing around you. This is the exact time when you need to understand and realize this is a natural trigger to tell you to take a step away. Taking a step away will help you refocus your thoughts, help you get your act together. If you need to cry, go cry. If you need to be angry, go be angry. If you need to write until you can't write anymore, whatever you need to do to decompress and decouple from the job, you need to go do that. For me, one of the best advice I ever got when I'm feeling stressed is to have 3 things ready to go that I can jump into at any time. For me, those 3 things are pretty simple, and this is how I step away. Number 1, I call a friend. Nothing like hearing the latest from your friends, laughing it up, giggling up, having a great time with your friends to take your mind away from the job. So I personally love jumping into that. My second one is I like to read. I'll go get a good book. Nothing wrong with cracking that open. And number 3, and don't joke me, or I'm gonna go to HR. I love to go get Sonic ice cream and just hang out in the Sonic parking lot and eat my ice cream in peace and in silence. I always have those 3 things ready to go in the event I'm feeling stressed and I feel like I need a moment to step away. I want to challenge you to go figure out what your 3 things are. But either way, it feels counterintuitive, but the first thing you want to do when you feel like you're drowning at work is take a step back. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say this. If you had a bunch of PTO, go take some PTO. I know you feel like there's never a right time to do that, and the answer is that's not the right answer. PTO, prepare to others, go get it done, step away. Number 2, prioritize. Everything is not equally important. Let me say that again. Everything is not equally important. I don't even know anything about your company, and I guarantee I can prove it right now. On your list, you have about 10 things you want to do, and if your top 10 things, I guarantee you no more than 3 of those things are important to you, your boss, and the company. Here's how I want you to double, triple check that. I want you to go to wherever your company keeps its strategy. I want you to go listen to the last time your boss spoke. I want you to go listen to the last time the CEO spoke. And I want you to hear what they're talking about. And I guarantee you those no more than 3 of those things align with their top priorities that they want the company focused on. So what does that mean for you? Again, it ain't all that important. You gotta prioritize, because as a leader or aspiring leader, you'll learn that there's never enough time in the day. One of my first executive roles in corporate America, I had a job where I was not only developing software and new products, but I was also leading a new office, and I was responsible for special projects on the side that were things that the company wanted to push at the same time. Oh, and by the way, I was leading the entire team of about 150 people. You can't even imagine just the personnel issues alone that you have to deal with that would take up your top 10. So if I didn't prioritize, I would never make it. I wouldn't be anywhere special. So I want you to think about your work, take the top 3 things at a time and make those your priority. Just make sure, and the way that you feel comfortable here again is you want to align on the top 3 things at any given time that you, your boss, and the company all care about. Use that as your guardrail, and I guarantee you'll start to focus and hone in on the things that matter the most instead of the things that are in your face. Number 3, delegate and partner. If you have any aspirations to be a leader, or if you are any leader worth their salt, you have to master the art of delegating and partnering. Oh, but RP, I'm one of those people that just love to hold on to all the work. I don't feel comfortable because I don't feel like anyone can do it as well as I can. Or my personal favorite, I like this one too, I just need to see it because that's how I learn. If I don't see it, I don't feel comfortable that I know everything that's going on in my shop. And as a leader, I should know what's going on in my shop. Let me stop you right there. Not only will you burn yourself out trying to do everything all at once, but I guarantee you, you will never feel more like a failure than when you remember. We know now that you should be prioritizing your work. So if you have prioritized work, you know the things and items that are most pressing for you, which gives you an opportunity to delegate and partner on the things that aren't as pressing. As a leader, this is a great opportunity to see what your team is made of. Put your stars on your pressing issues, but develop your others by giving them opportunities on your list of things that may not be as important, but still give them an opportunity to grow and change and take charge on their own as well. If you don't feel comfortable, the hack here is to put guardrails in place to let your team know or your partners know when certain things need to cross your desk or hit your radar. That'll give you the comfort that you need to turn some of this work over or partner on some of this work, but still feel connected in a meaningful way. Here's what that can look like in real life. You're gonna take your mid-tier to lower tier priorities, and I want you to delegate those out to some of your team members. And when you delegate them out, I want you to give them clear communication around the things that they can decide on in these priorities that you've given them. That may look like, hey, your authority on this thing is $100,000. Anything within $100,000, you got it. I don't need to see it. But if you go over $100,000, we need to talk about it. Guardrails like that are the secret to feeling comfortable delegating and partnering. The more you get comfortable, the more effective you will be, the more efficient you will be. But most importantly, you'll get out of the way and stop being a bottleneck. And you'll reduce that drowning feeling that you have because you're getting more done with less of your time. And finally, number 4, have a best friend at work. There's gonna come a moment in your career when you feel sad, when you feel like you wanna rage quit, or when you feel like if you speak to one more person, that might be the day you end up in HR for choking somebody. Whatever the situation is, here's my advice. Go find a BFF at work, a best friend at work, somebody that you feel safe, somebody that's trustworthy, somebody that's equal to your level or slightly above your level that can give you some type of perspective, and more importantly, give you some type of comfort when you feel like you're drowning. There's nothing better, and I do mean nothing better, being able to pick up the phone and have a conversation with somebody that you don't have to give the whole backstory to. You don't have to give all the context around the players because they already know all these people. You don't have to do any of that. You just got to pick up the phone and tell them about your problems. Go find that person. And again, the trick here, make sure that they're trustworthy, that you can vent, talk to, get different perspectives, because your family members, as much as they love you, they can't fill that role. It'll frustrate you trying to catch them up to speed on everything that's going on. Find somebody at work that already knows what's going on and save yourself the time. And again, if you focus in on finding the right person, this person will be a jewel to helping you get through the workday, especially when you feel like you can't take any more because you're drowning. Go find a BFF, and if you're a good person, go be one to somebody else too. All right, y'all, we covered a lot today, so let's do a quick recap. When you feel like you're drowning at work, here are the top 4 things that I suggest that you do. Number 1, step away. You can't see it clearly if you're too close to it. Number 2, prioritize. Everything's not as important as it seems. Don't make it that way. Get your top 3 together and operate from there. Number 3, delegate and partner. It's critical to getting things done as a leader or as an inspiring leader. It's a skill that you have to master. And number 4, my personal favorite, go find a best friend at work. There's nothing more valuable than being able to pick up the phone. Hey, look, drowning at work feels like the end all the time, but the reality is it just is not. Follow these tips, and I promise you, you'll start to get yourself out of that hole. But more importantly, you'll start to feel good about the amount of work that's in front of you and the impact that you're making. As always, you can do anything with God and hard work. My name's RP. Peace.